not supposed to jump up here, but I love you, so I'll let it slide this time. You smell like carcass. Have you been rolling around with the carcass again? Alright, go on now. Got it.
That was effective.
Oh, yeah.
Kraig,
Yes.
tell me the glorious story.
Wasn't all that glorious. It's always the time when you don't bring the camera.
Yep.
It's like all those times I see Bigfoot.
Every time.
Every time. No, I just went out like I usually did. You know, I crossed the bridge. Kind of a near-death experience each time. But I made it out there and didn't spook anything, didn't scare anything up. Out there, clacked a little bit, not too much. And started getting a little later. Yeah, it's getting darker a lot sooner now.
Left me at home because he didn't want me to have any fun.
I didn't want to bring my 8-month pregnant wife across a broken bridge over freezing water.
I did it before.
I felt terrible about having you go out there before.
It was fun and I got a good nap.
But I went out there and, you know, I'd passed on a couple of occasions to shoot a little buck, but I don't know. It's a big hassle to get it all cleaned up and everything done, skinning it, and butchering it. So I wanted something a little nicer. And I went out there and I turned down a couple of bucks.
That night?
No.
Oh.
No, on other times. And but when I was out there with my dad and my father-in-law, I actually didn't see it, but my father-in-law said one of the bucks that passed us was an atypical, and I really liked the sound of that. So I was kind of hoping he would come back. You know, I didn't want to take a shot at something before him. And the buck that came running down, since I didn't get a look at the atypical, Randy had said that one of its horns was kind of wonky like this. And I thought that's what I saw. It was a big buck, and he came charging down like he was angry. He came down real mad. And I'm looking, and I thought I saw a little wonky thing on his head. Turns out, I don't know, probably wasn't even there to begin with. But, I took the shot. Actually, he came running, and then as soon as he got right next to me, maybe like 40 or 50 feet, he looked up and he looked right at me. I was like, oh no. So he turned around and started trotting away, so I had to just kind of stand up and take the shot, and I shot him. I managed to get him right in the shoulder, and that kind of dropped him, and he fell for a little bit and was flopping around, which is where I thought maybe he lost the other antler, but I don't know. Me and Brittany went back looking, and we didn't find it anywhere. We were looking around pretty good, but then I thought he was gone. I thought he was done there. You know, he was flopping on the ground like he got hit in the spine or something like that. And he got up and started walking away again. Like, oh no. So I took another shot, hit him actually within about 2 inches of the last shot, right in the shoulder again. And I think that hit him in the lung because he had blood coming out, and he was down at that point. But before that second shot, though, my gun jammed. I couldn't believe it. I'm sitting there, my hands are freezing cold, so I'm sitting there trying to, you know, bap the thing as hard as I can to get the jam out. I just can't get it. I have a Remington 270 pump action, and it just wouldn't rack back. Button was stuck. Everything was just not working right. I just saw it running away. Finally, after I just kind of went bap real hard with my fist, which just about broke my hand because it was so cold. it finally popped the next round out, and I was able to load one more, and I took that shot on him and made him fall. It wasn't dark, but it was, you know, when it's overcast, it gets dark a lot quicker than it should.
I heard the shot at home at 4:58.
Yeah.
And then maybe 3 minutes later, I had heard another shot, and I was like, oh, I hope that's Kraig. I hope he just got his buck. And so I was waiting at home, and I didn't know if I should drive over there, because if it wasn't Kraig and he was still hunting, I didn't want to like scare anything away. And so I was kind of just like waiting, like maybe he'd go back up to Bev's house and call me and let me know that he just got something, or I was kind of not sure what to do. But then Bev came over, and she's like, I'm pretty sure that's Kraig. So we got all of our gear together, and I hopped on the quad and we went over there. And, but meanwhile, during all of that, Kraig is having the time of his life.
Well, luckily he dropped right on a big slant, so it was real easy to pull the guts out. It's never easy handling a, 200-pound animal by yourself. So I had to kind of flip it up on its back, and then I cut up in his, his chest cavity. Managed not to pierce the gut, which is always a good plus. Don't have to get gross stuff everywhere. So I got all his guts out. It was getting too late. I just kind of left the lungs and the heart in at the top. I knew I could get that out when I got back. But it was a solid 200-yard drag on that thing.
Over all the deadfalls and everything.
All sorts of down trees, trying to pick him up over them, and I just absolutely destroyed my back. My back was absolutely just on fire. But at the moment, you have a whole lot more adrenaline going. So, but I got it to almost to the bridge, and then I heard Bev and Brittany, so I called out to them. Couldn't get it across the busted bridge, so I had to cross the creek. It's dark at this point, which is fun when it's, 25 degrees and you're crossing knee deep in a creek, trying to drag a deer across it with the current dragging it. But I got it up and over the other side. And
I did film all this. I don't know how I erased it, but I did get all the footage. And like once we got there, and it's gone. I don't know where it is. I'm so disappointed.
But yeah, then
almost as hard to get them into that as it would be in this. But
oh yeah, Kraig, the sides do come down.
yeah, let's do that.
And then attach that to the quad.
Yeah. I'll just sit on the back.
So we got.
Okay, I'm good.
We got a wagon right here. And we're gonna, the sides come down so we can kind of lift him onto that, and then we'll attach it to the quad.
So we can lower this one?
Easy.
Yeah.
Check this out. See that?
Just lift it up. There you go.
There.
That's pretty legit.
me and Bev, Brittany was filming and holding flashlights. Me and Bev got it up into the wagon she had.
Well, you wouldn't let me help.
Oh, I didn't want you to help. I didn't want you getting a bunch of blood all over you.
I don't care about that.
I know, but you're super pregnant.
I might die. We gotta get him on there.
You know what? You should go get your gun.
Yeah.
And that'll cool you off.
Yeah, no what?
And he'll just stay here, and then when you come back, you'll have your breath back, and we can put him on.
Alright.
Alrighty? You want a flashlight?
No,
Not that I don't think you can't do it. But, so we wound up getting it in the wagon and closing up the wagon.
Alright,
And then I was
see you in a
able
bit.
to pull the wagon with the quad all the way back to the house.
Come down, does that one have to come down? Okay. Honestly, I have no idea.
And let one down.
Yeah, why don't you do that?
There. So sliding them on.
Where's the front?
This
right
is
here.
the front.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm wondering if we should...
Turn it.
turn it around
All
before
right.
we do this.
Here you go. I turn it around.
Thank you. Right there's fine.
Oh, good. Okay.
Now, if you could just
Be
make
my
sure
weight.
it doesn't
Yeah.
move. Yeah.
Yep. I'm a good anchor.
Are you sure you don't need me?
Oh, his tongue's out.
Wow, that's a big guy.
I can get on the other end. Grab a leg.
I'm trying to do this.
If we if you pull him up alongside
Bev,
and
you
then
think you could hold this horn.
I can.
and then I can hold a
Can you, sweetie?
yeah.
Okay. I can pull. My safety's on, so. 1, 2.
Maybe like this.
All right. And you say 3 and I'll pull.
1, 2, 3.
Hey, hey, we win.
Got it.
Now what we can do is
Lift his legs up
just
and
lift his legs up and then
Yep, put that thing
put the
up.
side up, I think.
Yeah, this one down is okay, especially since it's in the front. But I get, yep, lift his legs. And I'll get this, oops. Okay, yeah, only that one. See how it goes?
not really.
Okay, it goes onto that.
Okay, like that.
Yep.
All right.
Oh, there,
You
dear.
might even be able to get the other one.
You might want
this
to.
head up.
It's
Okay.
it's bowing out the other side, but you might hurt the wagon.
Oh, gotcha.
Watch your piece.
Yeah, thanks, sweetie. There, I got one. We win. Oh, I didn't do any work and I'm tired. Gotcha, wait a minute. Okay.
Wow, look at that ear's nicked.
Yeah, both of them are.
That's a big one.
I bet you
Got a
Hey.
big nick there too.
been in a fight. You think?
Piece of grass. Oh,
What is that?
and a tick.
That ain't a tick.
I can't see it very
I
well.
don't think it's a tick.
Oh, no, it's not flat, huh?
Some kind of mite.
Looks like a baby grasshopper.
Okay.
Okay,
Well,
So,
we're gonna
ratchet strap.
yeah, we could try to
So-
just tie it off and go slow.
and I'm gonna follow you.
Well, don't get dirty if you don't need to, baby.
It's all right, dirty.
Oh, that's.
Babe, I need you to follow me with light.
Okay,
Okay, and
I
I'm
can
gonna.
follow you with the light.
Okay. Now, I'm not sure how we're gonna do this.
Ratchet strap hook right there.
I bet I could just pull it.
I couldn't find that rope that we just bought.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Sorry. This should work though.
I just propped open the chest cavity and let it sit overnight. I was wiped out. I had to go take a shower.
It
I
was already freezing outside.
shoulder deep in blood and I was soaked in sweat. I could just feel ticks and mites on me. Went back to Bev's. You know, we didn't have the power for me to take a shower tonight because it had been overcast for like 3 days. So I went back to Bev's. She was nice enough to let me use her shower and get all cleaned up. And we came back here and ate some dinner and promptly fell asleep.
Yep.
Why don't you go start to get this fashioned to
So-
the front of the wagon?
So that's pretty much how it went down. Now we're gonna get the
Okay. Are you coming?
what's known as a European mount on it, which is relatively cheap. It's like 120 bucks. They stick the head in a vat full of these special bugs that,
It's gross.
yeah, it's super gnarly. It reminds me of that movie The Mummy, those weird scarab beetles things they got.
Ew.
But yeah, apparently you let it sit in there for like a few weeks or a month or something, and it is just bleached bone. Anything,
Picked perfectly
yeah,
clean,
anything.
white.
I mean, you can eat off the thing. It's picked so clean. It's nuts.
Not that
Not
we
that you
would
want to. But,
eat off of
yeah,
it, because that's gross.
super gross. But yeah, my neighbor's son is a taxidermist, so he's actually gonna come get that and the hide. We're gonna do a little couch hanger on the hide. Just because, why not? It was fun.
Right, I'm walking.
Good decoration.
Then I'm gonna walk.
Especially for in the new cabin. It was a good time. It was fun. A lot of work.
Stressful.
It was stressful. A lot of work.
We got it.
But we got it. Got the meat. Got it all good. Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. And you know, I wish I'd brought the camera that time, but you know, it's always that time where you don't bring the camera, where something happens. It's like when you go to do something that you used to love doing, but then you remember how much work it is.
Which way?
And then you do it, and you're like, wow,
Which way?
I got a 200-pound animal to drag out of here and gut, and then butcher and skin.
I'm following Kraig back to the house. He's got the quad, the wagon, and the deer. So we're gonna drop everything off at the house, and then he's gonna go take a shower at Bev's house. Eventually. So.
But you know, it was a lot of fun, and I can't wait to do it again next year.
It'll be better next year.
It was a good year, but it'll be better next year.
Oh,
Because we're gonna have a baby,
oh my goodness.
and we might be starting construction on a new cabin. Maybe. We'll see.